Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Other location again, which means we're doing a get ready with me. I've got my hair in a top bun because I just went for a run on the treadmill because the weather in Ireland is crazy. We're being hit by 2 storms in a row. It's raining and everything, so I'm just not gonna go outside. But yeah, I just went for a run. I showered, so this is my I just got out of the shower look. I ate something, so my head is not as red anymore when it was when I just came back. But yeah, let's jump in. I already primed my eyes with this one, the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. So we're going to be skipping that and moving on straight to the Master Smoky in Smoky Black from Maybelline. And I'm using this, as I've said to you guys before, like I'm patting my finger on the pencil, focusing mostly on the outside and then kind of like blending things in and blending things up, which doesn't always look the best, but of course I'm putting eyeshadow on top of this, so I'm not too worried about this not like being clean in any way. So yeah, I wanted to use this get ready with me to kind of talk to you guys a little bit more about like some of the things that have been going on in my life recently. As I mentioned in a few of my recent videos, I have been in the hospital recently, so just wanted to give you guys a little update on that as well, going in with the white shade for my Amuse palette on my brow bone, which is kind of heavy, but it kind of blends into everything when I start doing that. So the like kind of story about me ending up in a hospital starts with me getting double vision out of nowhere. There was no like specific reason for that happening, it just happened. So I went with that for about a week, trying to see if maybe it would just go away by itself. You never know. Using the Osu Special palette. I'm filming my Penda's eyeshadows after this, so I'm trying to incorporate a few of those in this look as well. So I'm going in with, of course, ribbon, that's what it's called. So yeah, I had double vision for, I don't know if you guys can hear that wind slamming into the window, but so yeah, I had double vision for about a week, and that didn't go away. And of course that's not very handy because like I normally, like, cycling is my way of transport. Even when crossing a road, I see 2 cars coming at me, so I don't really know which one is the one that is closest by and which one is the real one. It basically came down to the fact that like I just saw what I saw with this eye, and that eye, it just didn't merge basically. So trying to figure out what it was, I went to an optician just somewhere in the city here, trying to see if maybe I needed glasses. I've always had really good eyesight, so it would have been really strange if like all of a sudden I would start to have double vision, but you never know. So I went there. They couldn't figure out what was wrong because my eyes looked normal, so they sent me to the Eye and Ear Hospital here in the city as well, which luckily, living in a big city, it means that everything is relatively close by. Trying to decide what I'm gonna do now. I think I'm gonna go in with the purple from the original palette from Sleek, which is this one. So yeah, I was referred to the hospital. I went there. The health system in Ireland to me is kind of atrocious in comparison to what it's like in the Netherlands. You make an appointment for a certain time and they make you wait 3 hours until it's actually your turn, which doesn't make any sense in my books, but that's apparently how things work here. Or maybe I just had a bad experience. I don't know. But yeah, I went in on a Monday evening because they called me, said, hey, can you make it by this certain time? Went in, waited for multiple hours until I was seen. Person that was like checking with me didn't really know what was going on either, so I had to come back the next day. So that was kind of like more of the A&E, as they call it here, so accident and emergency part of that hospital. They couldn't figure it out, so they made an appointment for me for the next day in the morning. So I went in again the next day. Had to wait a little bit, luckily not as long as that evening. And that guy was able to tell me that it was a 6 nerve palsy, which basically meant that like one of the nerves on, like, it was my left eye that apparently was the issue, was not doing what it was supposed to be doing, and because of that my eye didn't move all the way out in certain parts. It was like minimal though, so I guess because this guy was actually an eye doctor, he was able to tell, but otherwise I don't know if somebody would have noticed going in with the blue, because I'm trying to use it 3 times a week and I didn't use it 3 times yet. It's Sunday, so I'm gonna have to get that 3rd time in. And getting a mirror from one of my other palettes here. So yeah, that turned out to be the situation. So they had to refer me to the actual hospital because like they could tell me what was going on, but they couldn't tell me why it was going on. So the actual hospital needed to tell me what was going on. So they sent me to that hospital where I ended up in A&E again. So I was just kind of waiting around and like being looked at by multiple different people. I guess that's their process. Just first you go to like kind of a triage person, then they took some blood, which I don't know if that's normal process or that was specific for my case. Then I ended up with a like A&E nurse that just did the first thing. Then they realized that it was likely going to be specific to a certain department, so they needed a doctor or a nurse or something from that department to take a look at me as well. Just getting rid of some of the blue here. So 13 hours later I arrived at I think 1 p.m. No, I arrived at, what was it? Yeah, 1 p.m. and I think by 2 a.m. I got a bed on one of the wards over there. Interesting as well, apparently like there is just a certain department on call. And now my husband is starting to do stuff in the kitchen, so you might hear some of that. Anyway, so even though they thought it might have something to do with my brain, so like it would be more of a neurology type of thing, I ended up in the dialysis ward because that's the ward that was on call. Interesting, but okay, fine. So yeah, I was there on Tuesday and I've been in the hospital until the Sunday that same week. They've done MRIs, they've done x-rays of, I guess, my spine, like eye tests and all those types of things. This is a pink from my Amuse palette, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. We're going even more unicorn with that purple on the outside today. Yeah. So loads of scans, loads of different things, really bad food. You know, it could have been worse, but it was impossible to get fruit in a hospital, and that was so confusing to me. Only maybe as a dessert at the end of the day they were able to give me like a little bowl of fruit. So I just, of course, you kind of just want your normal food stuff, and that is not what you're getting there. So yeah, after all of that, they were able to tell me that I have MS, apparently. So that's, I guess, kind of is an autoimmune disease that at least causes inflammation in like your brain and along your spine, which is why they did the MRIs. And that was why that nerve next to my eye wasn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, because these things are all connected. I don't know if like the inflammations are happening all along your body and the brain and the spine are just the easiest way to find it. But yeah, that was the actual diagnosis. So in the hospital they put me on steroids for 3 days. 3 days, and yeah, then I thought I was allowed to go home, but because it was the weekend there wasn't as many doctors on call, and there wasn't a doctor that could sign my release papers apparently, so it took 1 more day before I actually was able to go home. I think at 12 o'clock on the Saturday I had my last, I guess, dose of steroids, and I couldn't go home until a day later, and at that point I just really wanted to go home because like, you're just in another environment. It's never nice anyway, but they did a lumbar puncture as well as part of like all the tests that they were doing, and I was I was hurting. Like, there was so much pain in my lower back and my shoulders and my neck because of that. Yeah, so I couldn't really sit up straight for like more than 2 minutes, and that was no fun. So I just really wanted to go home, and it was really shit to have to stay an extra night for no specific reason other than there wasn't a doctor that could sign the release papers, basically. Just putting the black as my eyeliner, by the way, but I think you guys know that that's what I do most of the time. Anyway. So yeah, that was kind of like my adventure. I still was dealing with like all the pain until I think the Tuesday, but a Wednesday I could finally go for a walk again. And when I went for a walk, I realized that the double vision had gone, so I was so happy. Yeah, a few more days of headaches, and then I was kind of back to normal again. I've been working out again. I've been just doing all my usual things again. So really happy about that. But now, of course, with this being an illness that doesn't just go away, I'm gonna have to go back into the hospital in about a week from now. And talk about like treatment plans. It sounds like I might have to go in every 6 weeks or so just to get treatment and get some sort of like medication to keep this under control and hopefully not have too many of these things happening anymore. To be honest, I haven't done too much research on it because I'm afraid of the internet. There's so much misinformation going on there, and I don't want to like scare myself with worst case scenarios. So I guess we're going to be asking most of our questions when we go there for the appointment next week. And yeah, let's see what is going to happen. Like, from what I know, like, it shouldn't be affecting my life too much. But maybe some of you guys know more about that. Maybe some of you guys are dealing with something like this or know people that are dealing with something like this. Please don't give me worst case scenarios. But yeah, that's been my last couple of weeks, basically. Apart from that, some positive news. We bought a house, which is really exciting. Completely other side of the spectrum, but yeah, that is definitely very exciting. I'm really excited about that. How many times can you say you're excited? It's clear. So yeah, the house is actually in the Netherlands, and as I think a lot of you guys know, although I feel like sometimes maybe there's some confusion about that as well. We're living in Ireland and we bought a house in the Netherlands, which was an interesting experience because of the whole like COVID situation. We couldn't really go over to look at the house because there was a complete lockdown happening in the Netherlands at the time that we kind of saw the house, and we're like, oh, maybe we want to take a look at this. So we asked both of our dads to go take a look. They took a look at it for us, told us that it actually looked really nice. So we asked my husband's dad to go in again and go on like FaceTime so we could kind of walk through the house with him. And then we put in an offer. And after going back, I think twice, they accepted it, which was crazy because this is the first time ever we put an offer on a house, so we were not really expecting it to go through. And this house has so much of the things that we like really like in a house, like a beautiful kitchen, some like wooden beams that you can still see through the structure, but still quite more modernized because they redid pretty much the whole house like 2 years ago, so it's already new, but it is mostly our style. So that was very exciting, and that was kind of like happening around the same time, like finalized around the same time anyway. We started the process right before Christmas, and in the Netherlands you put out an offer first and then you talk to the bank to see if you can actually get the money for it. Of course you kind of know what amount of money you can borrow, but yeah, you still need to kind of go through that part of the process after you put out the offer. And because we live in a different country than where the bank is, they kind of look at us as foreigners. So that process was like, it's always an extensive process, I guess, but it was even a little bit worse for us now because we live in a different country. But we got it all done. Everything is officially signed and worked out with the bank. The keys we will be getting in May, which, yeah, it's all like there's a lot happening at the moment. We're still trying to figure out when exactly we want to go back, because initially, like with work and stuff, and I've got my team here in Ireland, I can stay with the same company, which is really nice. So initially we were thinking, okay, let's just get all the furniture and stuff, because here you buy your house with furniture, which means we don't really have a lot of our own stuff yet, and we need to fill a whole house basically. So we thought like not moving in straight away, like focusing on getting the furniture a little bit, wrapping up some of our things here before heading over would be an option. But of course, with everything going on the last couple of weeks as well, and like my health being a big thing now, we might be going over a little bit sooner than expected. But yeah, let's see how that goes. My Dutch contract is starting from May initially, so that means that my health insurance here will not be a thing anymore, and I need to get health insurance in the Netherlands, which probably means that doing the treatments here is not as easy anymore. So there's a lot of like moving parts going on, but a lot of exciting parts as well, even though there is like some stuff that we have to deal with that is, I guess, less fun. I'm not as worried about everything. Like, I'm working out a lot, I'm mostly eating healthy, so I guess like I'm doing all the things that I can do to just like not have things be too bad. I'm trying to take care of my body in the best way I can, and still I end up with something like this, which is sucky, but it's okay. We will deal with it. Anyway, I'm quickly gonna do my brows off camera because it always takes so long, and then I will be back in a minute. Okay, brows are done. Realized that while I was talking I kind of forgot to tell you guys what I was using, so just to quickly give you some insight in that. The Nicki Minaj Viva Glam lipstick from MAC went on my cheeks as a cream blush. Then I used the Charlotte Tilbury powder to mattify everything a little bit. Then I used my bronzer, which is a blush from NYX, the Sweet Cheeks one in Taupe. I used the Catrice blush in, what is this one again? As Lively as Ever, which is in the whole collection project pen. I used the NARS highlighter in Albatros, which is in my Planners pen. And then I did my brows with like my Orly K Naked palette. I mixed two of the shades in there, which you guys are familiar enough with at this point, I think. And now I'm going in with the Deja Vu pigments for my inner corner, because I didn't get to that part yet. I've been using this pretty much every day at this point for my inner corner, so it's nice that I found a way to at least make sure I use it on a very regular basis. But I will definitely have to figure out how to use it in other ways as well if I want to get through that at any point soon. It's in the Planners pen as well, which means that I have forever until I'm gonna have to have it done. There is no deadline to that project, but that sometimes is the scary part as well, because that just means that it will take forever to get through stuff, because there's always other stuff that gets the priority. Anyway, going in with the vitamin E gel mist from the Body Shop to like set everything in place and give me a little bit of my glow back after powdering. And what's next? Mascara, of course. And I'm kind of trying to figure out what to do with my lips as well, because I've got a pretty cool toned eye look, and I've got like a very warm toned sweater that I'm wearing at the moment, and I don't really feel like changing because of the eye look. Not really, I don't feel like it's clashing though, but yeah. So I need to kind of figure out what I want to do with that. Like anytime I'm looking down, I've just got like a mirror like right below here, just because sometimes the viewfinder is not enough as a mirror. Okay, so for lips, I think I'm gonna go in with the Viva Glam Miley Cyrus lipstick. So we have something that kind of works with the eye look, although this is quite bold as well, but I'm filming, so whatever. And then I'm gonna go over it with, and I did do the deep potting thing finally. This is the Catrice Made to Stay Smoothing Lip Polish in Strawberry Secret, which is in my whole collection project pan as well. I want to try and use that 10 times. And the doe foot already broke off before I even could use it once. This is one of the ones that I got from my sister at a certain point. I'm gonna put that one on top because it's kind of like a reddish shade. It's actually more, oh shit, don't talk and do that at the same time. It actually feels more like a lip gloss than anything else, which is kind of interesting because I thought that it would be more of a like lip lacquer, like the Rimmel ones that I have as well, the Apocalypse ones. But yeah, it's not, which is good to know as well. And that is why the whole collection project pan is a really nice one as well. I can put something in for 10 uses and realize how it works, really. So yeah, I think we're done now. So I'm gonna take my hair down, see what it looks like, because it's been kind of wet-ish. That is the look down. And this is what I'm gonna be filming with in a second. Although I'm filming now as well, of course. So yeah, just a quick like look at the whole thing. But yeah, that's been my story for the last couple of weeks. Yeah, like I said, quite a bit going on. Definitely not what I was expecting to have gone through when I started this year, but it is what it is, and we'll deal with whatever comes my way when it comes my way. So yeah, that's it for now. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye!